Regarding the current outlook in the United Kingdom, it seems that the end game of the German Psychiatric network from the 1700s is coming into play. Indeed, this end game is a techno-surveillance state coordinated at the top by a psychiatric cabal in a Recian vision, basically. And this psychiatric cabal will be overseeing a cryptocracy who will be running a vast criminal empire. And basically, I believe that the society will take the form of a cyberpunk style vision. Indeed, it seems that Britain is in the grips of a cryptocratic criminal empire, and the behaviors that are being displayed by the population are by design, by the ideas of the psychiatrists from the 1700s. They wished for everything to occur that is occurring today in the United Kingdom. All of this was planned in the 1700s. Indeed, such aspects as increasingly violent youth murdering each other all the time. This is all part of the psychiatric endgame. Indeed, morons have been glamorized, so all the youth look up to morons, and this is all part of the programming implemented on the United Kingdom by the Tavistock Institute, who themselves got the blueprints for the plan from the German Psychiatric network centered around the Mad Housekeepers Guild in the 1700s. Indeed, as I stated, the psychiatric cabal are at the top of the chain, overseeing a vast cryptocracy, which itself oversees a surveillance network and police state. However, in the coming years, it seems there is first going to be a conflagration before the Techno-Surveillance-State takes effect. Indeed, I believe the idea is that there will be a hybrid civil war of some sort and a lot of civil discontent, and the police forces will not be in a strong enough position to deal with the social discord, basically, and private security firms, which are being trained for this very purpose as we speak. These private security firms will step in and basically represent the new police. Indeed, these private security firms will have a fascist element to them and will consist of many ex-military, ex-mercenary, and ex-intelligence operatives. And these networks will gradually regain order in the United Kingdom for the implementation of a techno-surveillance state. Indeed, I believe that the psychiatric endgame includes a mass culling of the population. Indeed, it is possible that the extermination of the mentally ill will occur during this time, and I'm also predicting mass exterminations of vagrants. Indeed, it already seems that vagrants are disappearing in the United Kingdom, and this is all part of the psychiatric endgame for the United Kingdom. Indeed, the culling will represent a transition whereby anyone who is deemed unfit for productive labor will simply be neutralized by the authorities. Indeed, the percentage of psychiatric patients in Britain causes a problem for the technocratically inclined cryptocracy and their psychiatric overlords, because they don't fit into an agenda that suits the corporations who would be at the forefront of the economy in the society that the psychocracy is trying to create. And it seems that various percentages of the population will simply be exterminated. And as with the Holocaust, the first victims of the Nazis were the psychiatric patients. Indeed, over 90% of the paranoid schizophrenic population of Nazi Germany was exterminated either by lethal injection or in mobile gas vans that were being tested for later use in the overall Holocaust. Indeed, this is all part of the agenda that the Mad Housekeepers Guild envisioned in the 1700s. Indeed, it's quite interesting to note the fact that the Mad Housekeepers Guild termed themselves the Mad Housekeepers Guild, when technically the majority of the initiates of this original network would have been termed mad doctors. Not that they were mad themselves, just that the profession of study of the insane was called mad doctoring. Indeed, the mad housekeepers were generally the physically strong brutes that were basically the wardens of the asylums and oversaw them. So the fact that this network is termed the Mad Housekeepers Guild points to the fact that this was a collusion between mad housekeepers and mad doctors. And therefore, there's a strong proto-eugenicist agenda there. Indeed, everything is going according to plan, according to the psychiatric endgame. Indeed, it's interesting how this links to the history of the Soviet Union and the prominent role that psychiatrists played in the Soviet Union. Indeed, when Lenin came to power in the Soviet Union, indeed, Lenin was a German intelligence operative. He was working for German intelligence and had connections to British Royal Arch Freemasonry. Indeed, Lenin seems to have also had some Frankist heritage. Indeed, Frankists were positioned in the foremost positions of the Soviet Communist Party, specifically so that researchers would study the heritage of these operatives and conclude that everything was a Hebrew conspiracy, which is what the Anglo-German cryptocracy would wish you to believe. Indeed, after Lenin came to power, he immediately consulted with Pavlov and basically queried Pavlov as to how it would be possible to mind control an entire population. And so in the Soviet Union Illuminati black regime, the psychiatrists took a prominent position. Indeed, the psychiatrists in the Soviet Union were heavily involved in mind control projects, the most notorious being Project Sturm. And these mind control and behavior modification experiments were carried out in psychiatric hospitals all over the Soviet Union and often in gulags. Indeed, these were some of the most hideous mind control experiments possible. Indeed, many included open brain surgeries, and many of the psychiatric patients and gulag inmates were neutralized after the mind control experimentation. So it's all very sad indeed. The Soviets also came up with their own diagnosis for politically difficult people, indeed people that were not going along with the Communist Party's ideal. Indeed, this diagnosis was termed sluggish schizophrenia and was applied to political dissidents, and they were then incarcerated in psychiatric hospitals, and many of them underwent behavior modification and mind control programming. Indeed, there are a lot of people in the Russian Federation today who are victims of mind control programming, whether that be by Soviet psychiatrists or psychiatrists of the Russian Federation. There are a large percentage of psychiatric patients in the Russian Federation today who have undergone behavior modification and mind control experimentation. And many of these now are just wandering around the society, and many of them are addicted to the synthetic substances that are proliferating in the Russian Federation as part of an experiment by the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst on the Russian population, utilizing Chinese corporate assets as conduits for this experimentation. Indeed, I was in Russia briefly in 2013 and 2014, and I'd headed there from the Balkans, and I have vague recollections of being in a psychiatric hospital there. And I believe that it was actually Russian psychiatrists that first diagnosed me with schizophrenia before British ones did. However, I also believe that I underwent certain behavior modification and mind control experimentation as part of a continuation of Project Sturm while I was there, because I can't actually fully remember being there, but I'm pretty sure I was in Russia at some point during 2013 and 2014. I believe I was there twice during this time. And the perpetrators of the mind control experimentation on me that occurred there were most probably Royal Arch or Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst connected members of the FSB security services and the GRU Russian military intelligence. Indeed, I seem to have become part of the dialectic that the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst and British intelligence networks wish to perpetrate on the world. Indeed, Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst are really guiding that dialectic, and I seem to have become part of that dialectic. It is interesting that there are a network of Russian mental patients that the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst, British intelligence, and the CIA are absolutely terrified of. Now, not too much is known about this network, but they have basically figured everything out. And they are also in conflict with the Russian state authorities and are constantly in and out of psychiatric hospitals in Russia. But they have worked things out. However, just like me, they are powerless to do anything about it. Indeed, I was considering it all last night. Indeed, with the psychiatric endgame and the eventual implementation of a techno-surveillance-state that will basically be a fascist state, but with many aspects that would be purely modern and would not have been so distinct in the original fascist movements. Indeed, I was surmising that I really cannot do anything about what is occurring. So then I started thinking, what's the point in making these videos? But there's always a point. Indeed, this is a video diary that will be archived, and maybe at some point in the future somebody will look back and say, this mental patient had started working it all out. And also, I rather enjoy my research, so I'm going to continue attempting to figure out the details of this psychiatric endgame. And as I've stated, everything is going according to plan for the psychocratic networks and their psychiatric endgame. Indeed, there are parallels between Fabianist modern Britain and the Soviet Union. Indeed, although the state security structure is not as apparent in its firmness as the Soviet communist one, the cryptocracy, i.e. MI5 and MI6 in Britain, rule Britain in exactly the same way as the KGB ruled the Soviet Union. There is no difference, there is no distinction. It's exactly the same system. It's a very similar system of control with exactly the same facets to it. Indeed, mass surveillance, and the silencing of dissidents. Indeed, although in the Soviet Union the silencing of dissidents was far more obvious and apparent, the silencing of dissidents is occurring in the United Kingdom. Indeed, there are black sites all over the country and test laboratories for behavior modification. Indeed, Porton Down in Wiltshire is notorious for mind control experimentation. I believe they even breed their own test subjects in the crypts beneath the laboratories at Porton Down. So they have basically their own human guinea pig farm in underground chambers in Porton Down laboratories in Wiltshire. And it's also no surprise that Porton Down was located very near to Salisbury at the time, indeed is located very near to Salisbury, and the Novichok poisonings occurred in Salisbury. So it seems to me that the Novichok chemical was just something processed at Porton Down and then was cast on the Russian military intelligence services as their weapon when it was actually a British weapon. Indeed, the point of these videos is not to defend the GRU, though, because they are a network of absolutely terrible human beings in the majority and are very much coordinated by the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst, which is basically the crux of many of my theories. However, I do not believe that the Novichok incident was a Russian originating conspiracy. I believe the attempted assassination was actually the work of the British intelligence services. So, yeah, anyway, I'm going to leave it there. And as I have stated regarding the psychiatric endgame, everything is going according to plan.